Welcome to today's collective reading. We'll begin with doing a bit of a clearing with this selenite here. And I will be working with the Prism Oracle deck for today's reading for the collective. So, it's going to be a little different. So, welcome to TrinityGaiaOracle. And let's see what comes out for you guys. So, I'm going to be doing some piles for you guys here. Okay. Came out upright. So, magic. So, this will be for the first pile here. And then I'll just be pulling some face down for equally amongst all of them. There'll be 5 piles. Okay. So we have magic, determination. These are all going to apply. 3 different angles to different aspects of what may resonate for those in the collective tuning in. Just so you guys can see this a little clearer, because it's pretty light and the background's a pretty light background. Okay, so where is the magic in your life, and what does reaching the top of the mountain look like for you guys? Okay, and then we have intuition. It's a little different than magic. Intuition is... Magic is like what you've seen, what's occurring, what you feel is at play in the physical, not just something that you're aware of is around the corner or what you're pulling in from higher dimension. The intuition is the knowing of what's going on in the higher dimension, the more subtle energies that aren't necessarily confirmed in the physical. All right. Overarching theme for the next 2 messages, please. Okay, and then we have, frustration. This might be a very helpful one, actually. So what are you trying to do that just doesn't seem to work out? And how do you overcome that? What's the solution? What's the insight into that to help you overcome that? Transform maybe how you're approaching it, or maybe an understanding of what's going on the other side of it. Sometimes it's so hard to understand the other side when you don't know the details or the specifics. You just get the feelings, the emotions, the physical sensations, but not the actual details to be able to put it into context. So then how do you challenge yourself to see the other side? One last one, please. Okay. I'm going to do a little shuffle there. It's probably a very specific one that Spirit is looking for. Yes. Yes. So anxiety. Is it anxiety or is it anticipation? How are you choosing to frame this feeling? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple shuffles here, and then I will just separate them out into 5 piles. I'll trust Spirit to guide me here with that, so we're not sitting here for a really long time with me doing that. Trust Spirit. One final one I'm hearing. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5, 5, 5. So, 5 seem to be pretty important right now in this reading. So this is very much about union or cohesive messaging, communication across the board. And I'll just do another time here. Okay, and that ended up being 5 piles of 8. Nice. Okay, interesting. And they wanted me to do the last 3 separate. So 5s, 8s, and 3s. And ultimately then these are 5 piles of 9. Ooh, the numerology. Ha. Okay then. So under magic, what we have here is reflection. This is something that's being co-created. So whatever you're contributing is being mirrored back to you. So it may not be the same exact thing, but there is an equal and opposite reaction. And not necessarily opposite in the negative. The invitation to really just not hold on to the need to control. Part of magic is that is unknown, that is illuminating, right? With this pure white center with all of these rays coming out of it. That which you don't see is being illuminated. So how do you fight yourself with going with the flow? What energies around you are interrupting your focus, your flow? How do you begin to change your inner environment and your environment around you to facilitate being in the state of accepting going with the flow, not trying to control it? Even though there is just so much passion in the creation of magic, you have to be very passionate about what you're creating. There's a lot of people that manifest or practice magic that's completely unconscious. They're not consciously aware they're manifesting. But the collective tuning in here, you guys are aware you're consciously manifesting. So with that awareness, being conscious, it's very challenging to remain in the flow and not seek to micromanage, microcontrol what's being illuminated. The very fact that it's being illuminated means you need to stop trying to control it. And understand that you're going to be in a constant state of ebb and flow while you're balancing that inner struggle and being in flow. And this frustration can be very triggering. It can cause sadness. It can cause feelings of loneliness and frustration, and that is being mirrored back to you in the manifestation. Whatever you're calling in is like whomever, whatever the individuals and people and energies around it are going to be feeling the sadness and mirroring it back to you. The best way to channel that is to channel it into a creative forum. To go, okay, you know what? Sadness, got it. Loneliness, all right. How do I redirect all of this intensely powerful energy towards a positive outlet, a light, an outlet? How do I choose to do I go for a run? Do I write? Do I paint? Do I sing? Do I dance? A positive creative outlet. Do I sit there and dream and imagine, stare up at the clouds and ponder what this magic illumination could be like, and just create all of these voids for the divine to fill in? However you choose to visualize creatively will allow whatever it is that no longer works to pass away, and what is actually going to bring in this new beginning that you're manifesting to be magical, illuminating. Okay. So that's one complete message there for you guys. So with determination, the reaching that pinnacle, the freedom, I am standing on the top of Mount Everest and I don't know how I got here so easily, or wow, that was really rough. Whatever that pinnacle is for you, where you've achieved your happiness, your goal. Okay? We have it begins with cleansing. spending time, especially in the element of water, but acknowledging that there is so much knowledge present in air. So you have to put thought into what you're cleansing. It's not going to happen as efficiently if you expect it to just happen passively. There needs to be intention in the cleansing. And this helps you to redefine, redefine, what this looks like to you, what this idea, the concept, the vision, the awareness of what it is to have reached that pinnacle achievement. To redefine what it is. It's not going to be so much as in contrast to the lack of what this means, the opposite of what this is. It's going to be more just comparing these different peaks to one another versus the valleys even being a part of the equation. Surrendering to the intuition, the awareness of your higher self, your future self, communicating with another future self. So it's the butterfly effect. So this is you here, and you're spending some time here. And you're going, okay, well, I like this peak, but there's a future you that's like, nah, man, you're going to want to turn left here, and that'll end up here. And you may not consciously know, but intuitively you get that nudge, and you're like, oh, well, what if? What if? And that continues to happen as all of you communicates with all of you. Your intuition will lead you to that ultimate highest timeline, your highest vibration life, the best possible life you can lead based upon what you're attempting to co-create, what you're intentionally co-creating. Energy is highlighting to me yet again this constant awareness of connection with all that is. There is an awareness of connection to all that is, yet there's also an appreciation of the awareness of self, unique apart from all that is. You're unique. You're like one of the petals on the lotus flower. You're aware that you're part of the lotus flower, and that you're a lot like all the other petals, but you're this petal. You're unique. That awareness makes this possible. That is your being enlightened to both of those ways of being. The faith, yet again, that there is this interconnection, that you're not alone, that your ancestors and your descendants, beings in other dimensions that you're in your energy body aware of, connected to, and co-creating with, they are all helping and supporting you in getting to this point because they all benefit in getting to this point. And directly benefit. Your win is their win. And this is protected. It's locked in. It's mirrored. And it's protected. There's not any way that anything else can possibly intervene. It's divinely guided and protected. And there is an affection, a love, a connection, a passion present between two primary creative aspects. More than likely, it's the duality of receptive and assertive energies within yourself, where your inner masculine and feminine, and this heart is the connecting divine energy. And that can be definitely something that you're manifesting spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, in your reality as well. So however that applies, allow this to be a confirmation of that there is a shared love, emotional connection through divine. There is that connection. And speaking to the awareness of higher levels of consciousness that you're co-creating with other energies. Your energy affects these other dimensions, these other levels of consciousness. You're present within them. Even if you're not consciously aware of that, you are still this consciousness that is a part of this co-creation. What you are feeling, experiencing, and aware of directly impacts every other energetic level, dimension that you are present within. To get to this highest timeline, trusting all of the intuition coming in, which is choice, that we have the intuition card here. Trusting that intuition to lead you here. All of that guidance. Okay, so what is going on with your intuition that's leading you there? What's coming through? One, how confident are you in your intuition? I mean, I'm getting a pretty, confident, okay, I'm just going to say, I'm getting a pretty cocky attitude when it comes with the intuition here. Like, you're pretty confident. you're all cool about it with your shades, right? They're not rose-colored, but they're, the intuition is so bright that you need sunglasses just to kind of diffuse everything down and organize it a bit. It's a little blinding. Now, fear. This to me, I am not getting that you're overwhelmed with fear. You are very confident that there is this threshold you need to walk through. All right, if I stay on this side, then everything stays as it is, and I'm not happy with things as they are. But crossing through this threshold, taking this step through this threshold, I'm going into something new, which means there's going to be change. And it is a very normal, natural, human emotion to feel fear of change. What do you do with that? Even by acknowledging that you've had that fear of that change, you already take a lot of its power from it. Okay, so I fear, change. Like, what would this change look like, huh? Like, I'm getting a very cocky attitude here. Okay, so I'm just going to go with it. So what does this fear look like? What could change? What has me so scared about what's on the other side over there, huh? So maybe there's something I don't know how to do. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I don't have the answers to everything, but I'll figure it out. Because I have confidence in my intuition and myself to be able to find those answers, because I'm at this threshold because I choose to be at this threshold. I don't get to this threshold with just anyone or anything. I'm here because I'm supposed to be here, and I want to be here. So am I willing to accept this challenge within myself? It's not about anybody else. It's within you. A challenge to grow. Yep. That's what's on the other side. Growth. Learning more about who you are. And I'll tell you something. When you grow, you only become more powerful. You only flourish. You only contribute, nurture, celebrate your existence, your life. Like, this could be a very vibrant flower. What color flower would you be? Which flower would you choose to be? Visualize what growth you would like to see on the other side of overcoming the fear of change. How would you like to grow? There you go. That'll take some more of the power of the fear out of it. Thus, the confidence. Because this is loving yourself. Because change is constant. It's somewhat pointless to resist it, because it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. What you can do is consciously choose how you change and grow. And that is love of self. Otherwise, it's just happening to you, which means somebody else decides for you. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be a little more in control of how I handle my fear and grow. And with that confidence, that cocky attitude is there because this means you have that same feeling of, I want to be able to consciously direct my life. Okay then. When you choose to do that, it leads to your happiness. There's no more shades involved here. You don't need it. You're blissfully having a suntan moment here, like you're just enjoying yourself. And you're comfortable. And ghost. This tells me the old you, the you before going through that threshold. I mean, it's not like a diss of that person, that aspect of you at all. But there's a very strong awareness of who you once were versus who you are. Where you were versus where you are now. The enjoyment of the sweetness of life. That your intuition leads you to a state where you transform and you grow. It's not the death of, it's the transformation. The concept of being a ghost is similar to like near-death experiences. And it's just the transformation of energy, the transfer. It's not you cease to exist. You are still you, but you remember who you were. I remember who I was 2-3 years ago versus who I am now. I love me regardless. I'm grateful for everything that I learned between then and now, and the me that made every decision from then till now. So on the other side of trusting your intuition leads to sweetness. Now, there's a challenge here and there's a frustration. So what's on your guys' mind that's got you just like, grr? I imagine it has something to do with this fear. Yes. Okay, so this is peace. How do I do peace? All I know is frustration. How do I do this peace thing? I don't know. Should I bring a peace offering? Should I do that? Is that the first step? Maybe that's the first step. Okay. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn a lot more than likely when I bring this. And I'm so used to chaos. I don't know how to do this peace thing. Maybe I'll encounter chaos. And here I got myself all like work. This is very anxious. Oh boy. Let's turn this to anticipation. Yeah. I'm gonna demonstrate how you reframe that right now. So you're frustrated because you keep trying to make something work, shoving this square into a hole, a circular hole it doesn't fit. So you don't want to feel like you don't fit, like you're the only one who wants peace in the world, in your experience, and calmness. So you're going to contribute to having peace in your environment, within yourself. So you begin with giving to peace within you and within your own environment, and you get to see how that grows and amplifies and radiates out, how there becomes suddenly a window where you can begin to see how that affects more than just, this little peace offering, these little steps. It begins to grow and become bigger and bigger and bigger. And it opens more doors, more windows to begin to open more doors. And then you become hungry for more peace, hungry to manifest more of it. Your biggest challenge, and that's what this feels like, and this is why it's frustrating, because in that hunger, there's a step that seems to be elusive, because all you begin to see is just all the ways in which no matter what you do in certain situations, there isn't peace. You can't make the peace by yourself. You need the other person, the other dynamic to contribute to peace as well. This is strengthening your awareness of what peace is and how much you desire it. And this may be, communicating this may be the key to overcoming this. Yes, because the not communicating keeps you on different pages. It allows you to draw conclusions that are not actually what this energy is actually thinking or feeling, or what's going on, what they think is going on. And they're doing the same back, which is why we're dealing with the expectation that you're going to have the circle going through the circle hole. Well, you're on the other side expecting that, you're going to be this square going through a square hole. There's a lack of communication, of expectation or understanding of what is actually going on. There's the lack of communication leads to assumptions, leads to feelings, leads to lack of peace. And hurt feelings, which leads to anger, and the constant energy drain of not giving to anger because of the assumptions leading to hurt feelings. Very draining, which then leads to isolation. Because you're trying to figure out how to make a square go through a circle hole. This is not the solution. It is what is happening. It's what's happening. And it's a logical path. Do not get me wrong. It's logical. So let's see here. What do we do with this anxiety that's keeping the communication from coming through? From this confidence in the intuition being mirrored in the communication. Challenge is to reframe this into anticipation because it's abundance. There's an overwhelming amount of energy here to manifest. Do you want to manifest negative by owning the anxiety, or do you want to manifest abundance by owning the anticipation, the excitement? Mystery. So this tells me that you have a person here, no matter how much this is going on, no matter how confident you are with your intuition, they surprise you. This is the moon, because this is very obviously a sun. There's no rays coming off this. This tells me this is shadow work. This tells me this person can trigger you like nobody else. This person challenges you to do your shadow work. But they're not, this isn't like a red card. This is more purple and blue. So this is more intuitive. This is more subtle. So this isn't confrontational. And because you would think that this moon would be luminous, that the shadowed parts would be, here and here, but they're not. Or that they'd even be consistent. So shadowed, but it's not that. So you don't quite have the answer, no matter how honed your intuition is, no matter how gifted you are with your awareness to the subtle energies. This other pillar, this other individual energy surprises you. And that's unusual for you. And it makes sense that it would cause a state of anxiety because you don't know how they're going to move. You don't know. You can't predict it. But I'll tell you this. No one else in the world is going to be able to give you the gift of being able to be yourself. If this person causes this state that you're getting a reading or you're aware of it, it's coming up in this reading, this person is going to be someone you could be yourself with because you don't have the answer. And that's a gift. That is a blessing. I'm not going to say that it's always going to feel great. And you're not going to have moments where you're going to feel kind of hurt or sad or rejected. Because we all have a past. We all have wounds. We all have triggers. But this is the only person that you will be able to do this work with, see these parts of yourself, heal these parts of yourself with, and know that you're loved and appreciated and seen for the gift that you are, because they feel the same about you. You're not alone in that. They feel the same about you. All right, let's see here. Success. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome. See, like already. Abundance, anticipation. Yay. So let's see. This is now sun, and this is the two pillars that are like, they're connected energetically. Like your energy bodies are communicating. They are interacting, and there's success in that. There's happiness in that. So this is what happens with the shadow aspect, the healing within one another. But the light side, there is so much happiness here, really. Like there's such a bright future, if you will, because of this duality within your connection with one another. All right, space. Ooh. Now, yes, anxiety side would be like, oh no, I'm going to be out in the cold. They don't want to be near me. We can't be together. It's going to be in separation. No, okay, breathe. Breathe. Okay. To reframe this is anticipation or excitement, space. To create. This is the void. This is all the elements. This is before the Big Bang. What do you two pillars wish to experience success in because you've done the shadow work? What do you wish to create on this blank page? On this space, this empty space on the page? Pain, okay. Pain. Rest. Movement. All right, I wanted to do that because this is very easy to go into anxiety mode. Pain is something that's a part of life. There's not a living being other than someone with a unique genetic disorder where they don't experience pain, but there is very strong negatives that come with that. There's consequences. My understanding is that they end up having shorter lives simply because they don't know they've hurt themselves. So pain is not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, and yes, it can even be spiritual. Meaning it's more of an intuitive connection that you can't explain, but here you are feeling feelings that are very uncomfortable. And you're crying and you don't know why. That is a pain that you're processing with or for someone. So you can choose to experience pain from a perspective of powerlessness if you want to. That's your choice. That is your choice. And for a lot of people, that is their go-to default reaction because it's normal. It's natural, but you are consciously wanting to choose your path. So if you feel this pain, you don't understand where it's coming from, you don't understand why, you can choose by taking a moment to go within and breathe, to connect to you, what you feel, and feel that difference. Now, if this is your pain, it's one thing. But right now I'm explaining it from the perspective of a pain that's shared with you. Creating that boundary between you, your experience, and their experience allows you to not absorb it. However, if you find that bleed over, because it's really hard with people you love to not have, like it's more of a challenge. To open yourself to the concept that you're not alone, that you're guided, that you're protected, that you have allies that can assist you, even if the only ally you're really, truly, deeply comfortable with connecting with is Source, Divine. Open up to connecting with that to aid you. Pray. Meditate. ground, spend some time outside in nature, however you feel closest to that energy, invite them into this pain. Invite that spiritual presence into this pain experience with you to help you transform it, to help be that boundary, right? To help you learn. So going within with that allows you to move beyond the pain because there's going to be that boundary that's reinforced. Which, poignant that the abundance card comes out in this pile. Look at how close these are. Just turn the spaghettis into coins, spaghettis into Oreos. You know, like, would you rather have dry noodles, worms? Would you rather eat worms or have Oreos? I mean, I'm not going to like the Oreo concept, but that's just me. And caution. This is not saying, warning, go the other direction, stop, turn around. This is saying, as you come into, like, these two seem to be similar shape. They're not perfectly overlapped. They're not, completely even on the same level yet. They seem to be moving and kind of adjusting and figuring out how they want to be lined up. Maybe they'll end up clicking into place. Either way, while you go through this process to practice caution, to me, is highlighting the need to look within, to take care of yourself, to invite your spiritual guardians and your guides into any, pain in order to transform it, transmute it, understand it, move beyond it to abundance. Because this dynamic here allows for a blank page to create from. It is worth the abundance. And to protect that abundance, to take time with these steps here, to be cautious, to a really less anxious way of framing this is to enjoy what you learn and discover about yourself and about this other energy as you move into alignment and decide where you want to be together and how you choose to connect together, to manifest on that blank page together what your abundance looks like together, to enjoy that journey, to pause, to reflect. I don't really have a card for that in here that expresses that with a word that is positive. However, this is actually the best card for this placement, in my opinion. Because are you moving from a state of anxiety, or are you moving from a state of abundance? Caution. Before you move forward, are you moving with an anticipation, or are you moving with anxiety? And if you're moving with anxiety, you need to sit with it for a bit. You need to go within. You need to figure out what needs to adjust and how you visualize it, how you approach it to move into abundance. Even if that is just to go, you know what, I'm going to create a space on the other side of this pain and this fear that maybe I'm not going to be received well in my current state. Maybe I'm in too much pain to receive a successful outcome. Maybe that's where you're coming from. So caution. Create space. Say, you know what, maybe I will be received well. Maybe this energy, because I can be myself, and I don't know all the answers, and they don't know all the answers, and we know that that's a gift that we can give one another, that we can't get from anybody else. Maybe opening to the possibility that this person will listen to their intuition and treat me with the love and respect and compassion that they would like to be treated with. Maybe this person, blank, 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 fill in the blank, that allows the divine to work with that, to create your maybe and make it reality. So, if ever there were a pile about how best to manifest, it would be this one, in my opinion. Because this is one that so many of us, so many people, we just get stuck here. No matter how intuitive we are still people. We're still human. We still have fears and insecurities and vulnerabilities and hang-ups and triggers. It's how we choose to navigate them that empower us, or we find ourselves disempowering ourselves. Because at the end of it, it's your happiness you're after. Everybody else having happiness contributes to that. It's part of it. But truly, you're seeking your experience to be a fulfilling, happy, empowering one. So how do you choose to overcome the challenges? How do you choose to challenge yourself to learn and grow? And that concludes today's reading for the collective. I do want to express my gratitude for being the channel for this message today. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.